Economist Professor John Gachi says calls for the government to set up a creditor committee to restructure its debts will amount to nothing if government remains indisciplined about its borrowing. He was speaking on calls by the World Bank for Ghana and countries in debt-distressed situations to immediately restructure their loans. There's more in the following report.
Ghana's debt to GDP is high up at 76.6% after it was revised down from the 80.1% due to the new GDP figures. This high debt level pushed the World Bank president to advise the government to set up a creditor committee to negotiate and restructure its debt. But Professor John Gachi says the bigger challenge has to do with how government manages its affairs.
We need to ask ourselves whether we are following the guideline provided by the Public Financial Management Act. And perhaps if we are following, there is no need for the suggestion that the World Bank is giving. But if we are following, and that is not part of the arrangement under the Public Financial Management Act in terms of debt management, then we can consider that. Whether or not you want to manage your debt well, it's a choice. And it is when we get to the point that we are willing to go by the rules, it is then that our debt situation will be better. So I think so many institutions, committees, is not necessarily the answer to our problem.
Government announced that the revised GDP figure has reduced Ghana's debt to GDP ratio by some 3.5 percentage points. But the Economist, who is also head of business school at the University of Cape Coast, says it is much ado about nothing.
It is only significant to the extent that it gives government some opportunity to talk about the recovery. Beyond that, it has no serious implication for debt management. It has no serious implication for fiscal sustainability. A reduction in the debt to GDP ratio, whether significant or marginal, does not reduce your commitment to interest payment.